All right, here's my negative exponents video. Welcome back to our Algebra 1 video series. If I have a negative exponent, I can move it. I need to change that. There we go. I can move it to the other side of the fraction. So if I see a negative up top, move it to the denominator, and I get 1 over b to the 5th. If I have x to the negative third in the numerator, move that to the bottom, I get 1 over x to the positive 3. Where we get trouble usually is here. What has a negative exponent? Only x to the negative 10. That's the only thing with a negative exponent. This 5 is completely separate. So if I move that down to the other side of the fraction, I still have a 5, I still have a y squared, but this x to the 10th had to move. A lot of times I'll see students moving that 5, but the 5 is not attached to a negative exponent. That 5 has a positive 1 exponent. The x is the thing that has the negative exponent. In the same way, on 4, 12 does not have a negative exponent. 12 stays in the numerator. X to the negative second does have a negative exponent. That has to move to the denominator. Y is okay, and 5 is okay. Now, I could maybe try to simplify some whole numbers, but there's nothing here really to simplify between 12 and 5. So that's it, I'm done. Let's look at a couple good examples here. We've got 4. If you want to challenge yourself, try pausing the video, simplifying, and then unpausing to check your work. First thing I would do is get rid of any negative exponents. So here I have y to the third is okay. Y to the third can stay up top. X to the second has to move. X to the 8th was okay, and y squared was okay. So now let's check out our like terms. I have x to the second and x to the 8th, both on the bottom of the fraction. Those are being multiplied. So I have to add. That's x to the 10th. For the y's, I have y cubed and y squared. More y's are up top. 3 minus 2 is 1. I would encourage you to try 6, 7, and 8 on your own again. Pause the video. When you're done, unpause and come back to check your work. So on 6, the first thing we need to do is move that negative 3 exponent. So that a to the negative third moves up top and becomes an a to the positive third. A to the 4th was okay, y was okay. And now I see multiplying, which means to add those exponents. Nothing else can be combined there. So that is my final answer. Again, identify your negative exponent on 7. R to the 5th was okay. R to the 4th had to move. S to the 12th was okay. S to the 10th was also okay. For the r's, I see multiplying, so I really have to add. For the s's, I see division. I have more s's in the numerator, so I'll put s in the numerator. 12 minus 10 is 2. If you need a placeholder on the bottom in the denominator, you can always put a 1. You could also leave it just like this. That would be okay if you don't like the fraction, but I like the fraction. I think it's nice to have that. On 8, I have no negative exponents. So let me just do some division, some subtraction. X to the 5th, x to the 8th, I have more x's in the denominator. 8 minus 5 is 3. For the y's, I have more y's in the numerator. 12 minus 10 is 2. And that's it. There's nothing else to simplify or combine. Let me see if I've got a good challenge problem for you. Usually I've got a good challenge problem somewhere. We'll go with this one. If you want to challenge yourself, pause the video, try this one, and unpause to check your work. So I split this up into 3 parts. I've got whole numbers, I've got H's, I've got C. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simplify. 14 over 13 does not simplify. H to the 8th over h to the 7th. I have more h's in the numerator. 8 minus 7 is 1. This c to the negative 18th, though, that has to move. That's got to go. So I have to move that to the bottom, the denominator, and it becomes c to the 18th. And now I'm done. I can't combine anything. This would be my final answer. Let me know what questions you've got. Send me an email or stop by before school or after school for a couple minutes. Get a pass to the math lab. Or otherwise, check out some other videos on this playlist.